Clutching my son's charred body, I watched Clara, the class advisor's wife, softly comfort her lover's daughter. My heart was breaking as I demanded, "Why didn't you save my son?" She claimed, "A teacher has a duty to save every child." But the girl just grinned at me. "Your son deserved to die." It was then I understood. This fire was no accident at all. Gritting my teeth, I couldn't stop myself from throwing a punch. "Leo's life was just a fleeting memory to you. He was your son, Clara. Your words disgust me." Chloe rushed behind me, hitting me repeatedly. "You bad man. Let Aunt Clara go. Leo deserved to die. Who told him to bother our family?" My eyes blazing red, I grabbed her by the throat. "What do you mean by that? You little monster, clarify yourself." Clara slapped me hard. "Ethan, you went insane." She frantically pulled Chloe into her embrace, staring at me with disgust. "If you have a problem, take it out on me. Don't involve innocent people." I gritted my teeth, my voice hoarse. "Innocent? You say someone who insulted my deceased Leo is innocent?" Clara frowned. "Chloe is still young. What could she possibly understand?" It was said in anger. "Are you going to argue with a child? Clara, you are Leo's mother." My heart went completely cold, and I didn't want to waste any more words on her. I picked up Leo and turned to leave. I returned home and immediately began preparing Leo's funeral for 2 full days. Clara didn't come home once, nor did she ask about Leo. I notified her of the funeral date, but Clara didn't reply. I finally couldn't hold back and called her, but a male voice on the phone startled me. "Who are you looking for?" I swallowed hard. "I am looking for Clara." "Where is she?" "She went to get food." "Who are you?" "Me. I am Daniel. Is there anything else?" Hearing that name, I suddenly felt dizzy. Daniel and Clara were childhood sweethearts, deeply in love. They fell in love in high school, and later Daniel went abroad to study. They broke up due to the distance. Even after their breakup, Clara still longed for Daniel. Only after Daniel got married did Clara finally give up completely. I was in the same class as them since high school, and I had a secret crush on Clara. Seizing the opportunity when she was disheartened, I stepped in and married her, and we had a child. But I never expected Daniel to return to the country at some point, and Clara had gotten involved with him again. I choked back the feeling of suffocation in my chest. "Tell Clara to call me back when she returns." When Clara called, I had just composed myself. "Are you with Daniel?" Clara's voice was cold. "Daniel has been sick recently, so I came to take care of him for a couple of days." So this was why she wouldn't even look at Leo. I found it laughable, remembering Leo's small, charred body lying in the refrigerated coffin. My heart ached terribly. "Clara, you won't even attend your own son's funeral, just to throw yourself at him." Clara's voice turned sharp. "Ethan, don't be so twisted. Daniel recently got divorced, and he has a daughter. I just feel sorry for him. Can you stop being ridiculous?" "Me? Ridiculous? Have some decency. Your own child is lying in the funeral home, and is still entangled with your old flame. Clara, do you have any humanity left? I told you I am only helping him out of friendship, to take care of his daughter. You just have to misinterpret my relationship with him. Is this what you enjoy?" When she mentioned the girl, I immediately thought of that little menace. My breathing quickened. "Clara, is his daughter Chloe?" Clara's tone was full of impatience. "So what if she is?" I felt as if I was frozen, and it was a long time before I managed to squeeze out a sentence. "So, you didn't save our Leo to save Daniel's daughter?" I already said, I have a duty to save every child. I just couldn't save him. What a convenient couldn't save him. She said it with such composure. Was Leo truly her biological son? Could she be so indifferent to her own son? How did I end up marrying and having a child with such a cold-blooded woman? I clenched my hands, my fingernails already digging into my palms. But this was less than a fraction of the pain in my heart. "Clara, if you still remember who you are, and if you still know Leo's mother, then get back here for Leo's funeral 2 days from now." On the day of the funeral, I held the urn containing Leo, but Clara was late to arrive. I called Clara, but there was no answer. The guests around me whispered, "The child's mother is so heartless. She didn't even come to her child's funeral." I ran into that child's mother just 2 days ago at the hospital taking care of her ex-boyfriend. Is she cheating? She doesn't even care about her own child's funeral. I gritted my teeth, conducting the entire funeral alone. It wasn't until near the end that Clara arrived with Daniel and his daughter. I struggled to control my emotions. Why are you only coming now? Do you even remember that Leo is your son? Daniel stepped in front of Clara. Don't blame her. Blame me for clinging to her. Chloe suddenly fainted, and I dragged Clara with me, running around. That's why I was so late. Clara's voice softened. Don't be angry, Ethan. I am late. But the living are always more important than the dead. I didn't let her finish. I slapped her. Clara. Shut your mouth. Clara stood stunned, clutching the swollen side of her face, her eyes brimming with tears. Daniel swung a punch at me, but he was too weak. I kicked him to the ground. Clara reacted, stepping in front of Daniel. Enough. Ethan, how dare you hit him? What did I say wrong? Leo is already dead. We should move on quickly. I slapped her again. I've never seen two people more vile than you. One fixated on a married woman, the other shamelessly throwing herself at him. You scum, you're match made in hell. Go home and sign the divorce papers. Clara cried, tears streaming down her face. Ethan, don't slander me, there's only friendship between us. Don't look at us through jaded eyes. Daniel spoke righteously. Ethan, you've misunderstood us. I don't want you two to separate because of me. I slapped Clara again. Only friendship. For such a friend, you can be late for your own son's funeral. Get out. I kicked Daniel again, sending him sprawling. You get out too. A man over 30, still clinging to a woman to help his daughter with her medical care. Are you that pathetic? I pointed at both of them and continued to curse. You two scum. I'll only desecrate my son's resting place by being here. Get out. Chloe rushed over and bit my leg fiercely, her eyes malicious. How dare you ruin our family? Do you believe it'll make you end up like Leo? I grabbed her by the hair. You tell me clearly. What did you do to Leo? Daniel rushed forward, snatching her back into his arms, and covering her mouth. Ethan, this is my fault. I caused discord between you two. I promise I won't go near Clara again. Please let us go. Clara was sobbing, tears streaming down her face. She leaned in, trying to hold my arm. Ethan, I really know I was wrong. Let's make things work between us. From now on, Daniel's panicked expression seemed to be hiding something. My mind was flooded with doubts, and I only left a single sentence. Remember to sign the divorce papers. Before hurrying away, after returning home, I immediately went to the school to retrieve the surveillance video from the fire, but the camera was broken and sent for repair. It wouldn't be available for 2 days. I became even more convinced that Leo's death was no accident. For these 2 days, Clara came to apologize every day, but I ignored her completely. Every day she brought me food in a thermos, looking pitifully as she showed me the injuries on her hands. Ethan, try some. It took me so long to make. The old me would have been overjoyed, but now, seeing her putting on a show, I only felt disgusted. I opened the thermos and poured all the food into the trash can. Clara, you don't actually believe that making a random meal can erase the fact that you were hooking up with Daniel during Leo's funeral, do you? Now, seeing you only makes me sick. Clara's face twisted, her voice suddenly sharp. Why do you have to slander Daniel and me? I've told you countless times, I am his only friend, and I just want to help him more. Why won't you believe me? I no longer wanted to waste my breath on her. I pointed to the divorce papers on the table. Sign them quickly. From now on, I won't disturb your happy life together. Clara's voice softened. I won't sign them. Ethan, I know this is just something you said in anger. I looked at her with disgust. If you won't sign, then get out. Don't say such disgusting things to me. Clara tried to cling to me again, but her phone rang. Daniel's voice came through the phone. Clara, Chloe fainted again, and I can't leave. Clara responded anxiously. I'll be right there. With that, she hurried away, without a second glance at me. After Clara left, my lawyer, Victoria, arrived with the video footage. Her expression was grave. Ethan, prepare yourself. I froze for a moment, my hands trembling as I opened the video footage. Instantly, I saw Leo, whom I thought about day and night. When the fire broke out, all the children were scrambling to run out. My Leo also stumbled away, but at that moment, Chloe deliberately stuck out her foot and tripped Leo. Leo fell heavily to the ground, and the ceiling was about to collapse. Clara ran over. She glanced at Leo on the ground, then at Chloe, as if making a solemn decision. She picked up Chloe and ran outside. And my Leo was left behind in that burning classroom, burned alive. Before he died, he was still calling out, "Mom, save me, I am hurting. Dad, I am scared." After watching the video footage, my eyes blazed with fury. I wished I could kill Clara and Chloe right then and there. My Leo, I will kill them. They must pay for my Leo's life. Overcome with emotion, I grabbed a knife, ready to seek my revenge. Victoria quickly stopped me. "Ethan, calm down. Leo wouldn't want to see you like this. The law will bring them to justice." My eyes blazing red like a wild beast. It took a while for me to regain my senses. I plunged the knife into the picture frame of my photo with Clara. "Victoria, I want them to rot in prison." After Victoria filed the appeal, Daniel came to plead with me. His scruffy beard and the bruises on his face, from where I hit him, made him look especially pathetic. As soon as I opened the door, he fell to his knees in front of me. "Ethan, I will never compete with you for Clara, and I have no delusions about her, so please, spare my daughter. Chloe is only 12, she's still so young, you can't ruin her whole life." Who cared about his and Clara's messed up relationship? Everything I did was to get justice for my Leo. "Spare your daughter." I scoffed. Then why didn't she spare my 10-year-old Leo back then? Daniel was sobbing uncontrollably. "You've already lost your son and know this pain. Do you really want me to lose my daughter too?" Chloe didn't mean it. She just got confused for a moment. She already knows she was wrong. I'll make her bow down and apologize to you and Leo. As long as you drop the lawsuit, well, pay whatever you want. I grabbed him by the collar and punched him in the face. "Shut up. Who wants your lousy money? I just want my son back. I am telling you, unless you can bring Leo back to life, I'd rather die than drop the lawsuit." Clara arrived, her face also severely swollen, her eyes narrowed to slits. She ran to help Daniel up, then turned on me aggressively. "Ethan, is this what you enjoy? Chloe is just a child. She can't bear these consequences. Do you really have to push Daniel to the brink before he's satisfied? Ethan, show some mercy. Can't you forgive him?" I cut her off, disbelieving. "Clara, do you even remember that you're Leo's mother? Won't you feel guilt when Leo's pleading eyes haunt your dreams? She killed your son, and you're boldly telling me to forgive her. Clara, if you want to be a delusional martyr, don't drag me into it." Clara grabbed my sleeve. "Ethan, I am deeply pained too, but what's done is done. We should look forward. You know the pain of losing a child. Leo is gone, but Chloe is still alive. We can't let Daniel suffer the same pain. Clara, how can you say such a thing?" I slapped the swollen side of her face again. I pushed both of them out of the house, kicking each of them. "Get out, both of you get out. I never want to see your faces again anywhere but the courthouse." While waiting for the court to open, Victoria reported Clara for dereliction of duty. Clara immediately brought her parents to pressure me. Her parents were elderly, and I softened for a moment, letting them in. Helen, Clara's mom, looked apologetic. "Ethan, I heard everything from Clara. She knows she was wrong." She pulled Clara closer. "Quick, apologize to Ethan." Clara's face was haggard. "Ethan, I am sorry. I won't contact Daniel ever again." Arthur, Clara's dad, sighed deeply. "Ethan, for the sake of your years of marriage, please forgive her this once. Her superiors value her greatly, and a promotion is within reach. She can't lose her job at this crucial time." I scoffed. Can my forgiveness bring my son back to life? Every single thing she's done. Which one wouldn't be condemned by outsiders? Now she just wants to sweep it all under the rug with a flimsy apology. I am telling you, you're deluding yourself. I will sue her to the end, to bring peace to my sons in peaceful repose. Clara tried to hold my arm, her eyes downcast. "Ethan, I really know I was wrong. I've already failed Leo. I can't fail you too. I know you still love me. I only just realized how important you are to me. Let's make things work between us, okay?" I was almost laughing at her audacity. I didn't know where she got the confidence to think I still loved her. I shook her off, pointing at her nose and cursing. "Bah, what right do you have to keep being a teacher? If Leo's teacher hadn't been you, he wouldn't have died. You're a murderer." Clara's face went pale. She desperately clutched my clothes, pleading, "Ethan, Please, don't say that. I failed Leo. I scoffed. You, a person who personally killed her own son, would feel guilt. Stop acting. You watched Leo die with your own eyes. What are you regretting now? Clara trembled all over. Tears poured down her face, and she covered her face, sobbing. Stop talking. I glanced at her parents again. If you still want to persuade me, don't blame me for disregarding our past relationship. Her parents exchanged an awkward glance and lowered their heads. I opened the door. You may leave. Clara tried to say something else, but I scoffed. Clara, if you have any conscience left, don't interfere with my appeal. Clara's lips trembled. I won't. I didn't have time for her nonsense, and directly closed the door. Clara was dismissed from the school, lost her job, and had her teaching qualifications revoked. Yet, she came every day, wanting to see me, but I always turned her away. The court date was approaching, and I had no time to deal with it, but I never expected Daniel to turn the tables, live streaming a sob story online, thrusting me into a public outrage. That day, as I stepped out to buy groceries, people around me pointed and whispered, "That's him, isn't it? He looked outwardly respectable. How could he be so evil? TSK, a monster in human skin." I frowned, grabbing a woman who was non-stop gossiping. "What do you mean by that? Tell me clearly." The woman spat at me, and then began to wail, "Help! The murderer is attacking." Everyone's eyes were filled with disdain. I released her and quickly returned home. I opened my phone, and a video titled "A Middle-Aged Man Does This to a 12-Year-Old Girl" was trending on Weibo. I clicked on it, and it was a clip of me choking Chloe, but the context was entirely cut out. At the end of the video, Daniel was crying and pleading, bowing his head repeatedly to the camera. "I am useless. As a father, I can't avenge my poor daughter. This murderer hasn't received any punishment. I can only rely on the power of the media to spread this. Please, netizens, help me." The netizens clearly believed his story, and turned to online harassment against me. I wasn't in a hurry to respond, since Daniel wanted to make a big deal out of it. I would go all the way. After all, the higher they stood, the harder they would fall. I opened my private messages. Insulting comments were everywhere. Even my Weibo posts chronicling my loss of Leo were met with a barrage of curses from netizens. "Serves you right. The murderer got his karma. With a father like you, your son deserved to die. Good riddance. Who told you to abuse children?" Occasionally, a few people who spoke up for me were cursed by the jubilant mob until they deleted their comments. This group of self-proclaimed righteous netizens insulted my innocent Leo again and again. I took screenshot after screenshot. Clara called me. Her voice panicked. "Ethan, are you okay? Don't listen to what people online are saying. I'll clarify it for you right now." I was surprised she would help me. "No need. I have my own plans." She was silent for a long time. "Anyway, take care of yourself." I contacted Victoria and told her my plan. Victoria sighed deeply. "Ethan, why go through all this? I want that mindless mob of netizens, who judged without knowing the full story, to pay the price for everything they've said." What I didn't say was that I needed this public attention. Otherwise, Chloe's sentence would never be severe enough. I had to put them in the public spotlight. The bigger this got, the better. During the days I remained silent, netizens went insane with doxing me. Hundreds of abusive messages and calls came in daily, and my doorstep was covered in foul liquids and trash. The topic remained at the top of Weibo's trending list. A few days before the trial, I opened my front door, and a dense crowd of enraged netizens swarmed me. Their phones were thrust directly into my face, and some even threw rotten produce at me. "Look, that's the murderer. How dare he come out?" I stared intently at the cameras in front of me, my eyes wild. "Do you understand the whole story? It was clearly Chloe's fault. Why are you harassing me online? Why are you cursing my Leo? Do you know my Leo was killed by her?" The comments streaming across the screen suddenly stopped. The man in front of me swallowed. What do you mean? Do you care about the truth? You easily believe a cropped video. You don't bother to investigate the full story. You just want to vent your anger at me. You even curse my deceased son. You mindless mob. You wish me dead. Fine. I'll give you what you want. I want you to watch closely as a stranger is driven to death by you. I want you to live with the guilt forever. With that, I pulled a knife from my pocket, and unhesitatingly slashed my wrist. Blood spurted out, and I collapsed to the ground. Chaos erupted around me. Cries, sirens, various sounds intertwined, but my ears were filled with silence, and my consciousness drifted further away. In a trance, I seemed to see Leo. After I slashed my wrist, the internet exploded. Victoria, following my previous instructions, released the complete video footage. In the video, Chloe's malicious words were heart-wrenching. Netizens realized the truth and flocked to my Weibo to apologize. I am sorry, I shouldn't have cursed you, please wake up, we misunderstood you. We are truly sorry. At the same time, Victoria released the video of Chloe tripping Leo, and the court verdict. On Weibo, there was an uproar. She must get the death penalty. How old is this girl to so calmly kill a classmate? It's terrifying. Look at her smug expression, she's born evil. That teacher is just unbelievable, she didn't even try to help. Support the death penalty. Murder must be paid with a life. The Juvenile Protection Act should protect victims, not perpetrators. Don't let it become a Juvenile Crime Protection Act, a knife in the hands of juvenile offenders, and dismay the public. If there's no precedent, then set a precedent. We cannot let minors have a get-out-of-jail-free card for criminal offenses. More and more people pointed out the flaws in juvenile laws, hoping the country would amend them. Seeing the public outcry grow, Daniel quickly came out to play the victim. He started a livestream, his face pale as he was bowing his head repeatedly. Stop talking. Please, let my daughter go, she's still young, she doesn't understand anything. But by then, the netizens' sentiments had completely shifted. Get lost. She destroyed a vibrant life. She's a depraved devil. Death penalty. Who would dare be classmates with your daughter? All murderers deserve to die. Daniel bowed his head until it bled, but no one paid him any attention. His livestream was quickly officially banned. Everything I had suffered now descended upon Daniel. His doorstep was covered in feces. He was hit with rotten eggs when he went out, and people cursed him on the street. All of this, he brought it upon himself. After I woke up, the night before the trial, I posted on Weibo, I hope justice will not be delayed. Netizens supported me, hoping the law would set a precedent. Various influential figures stepped in to back me. Everyone was waiting for an impossible miracle. On the day of the trial, countless people concerned about the case came to observe. A dense crowd of people held signs in front of the courthouse, cheering me on. Due to the unusual nature of the case, the entire network was monitoring its progress. The courthouse, under public pressure, live-streamed the trial. I took a deep breath and pushed the door open. Court is in session. I sat at the plaintiff's stand, staring intently at Daniel and Chloe at the defendant's stand. As I had expected, even though Victoria had provided video footage of Chloe's actions as evidence, and despite the support from numerous netizens, the judge could not find Chloe criminally responsible. Given that she was under 14 years old, my chest tightened, and my vision went black. I bit down hard, struggling to stay conscious. Chloe sat across from me, giving me a mocking smile. You wouldn't believe how broken his expression was when Leo died. I deliberately tripped him. I knew he had sprained his ankle in the last gym class and couldn't move. No choice, who told him he was Aunt Clara's son. Aunt Clara should only be my mom. My eyes blazed with fury. Chloe, I will kill you. Clara, observing from the side, trembled all over. She let out a wailing sound. Shut up. You devil. Shut up. Chloe laughed even more gleefully. Stop yelling. What if I am a devil? What can you do to me? I am not even 14. She even stretched lazily. Aren't you going to adjourn court? I can't wait. Comments streamed across the screen. Is this how it ends? Is the Juvenile Protection Act meant to protect criminals like this? Can this injustice not be rectified? What exactly is the law protecting? I closed my eyes helplessly. Leo, your dad is useless. Your dad can't do anything. The judge also hesitated to bring down the gavel. He stared at the laughing Chloe and the silent me, then suddenly took off his judicial robe. Law cannot yield to injustice. His words that carried weight. My original intention in studying law was to speak for the people, to ensure justice be declared. If injustice cannot be quelled, I would be ashamed of my robe and my conscience. I cannot adjourn court like this. The comments exploded, all typed out in unison. Law cannot yield to injustice. Chloe looked a little flustered. Her voice was urgent. What are you doing? Adjourn court quickly. The judge pursed his lips. On behalf of the plaintiff, I petition for a retrial by the Supreme Court. I hope the court can make the most just ruling. Now, I declare, court adjourned. Chloe stared at me with malicious eyes. You think this will put me in jail? You're deluding yourself. I scoffed. You should worry about how we're going to die. I believe the law will make a just decision. Well, wait and see. Chloe was detained in the juvenile detention center, and news about lowering the age of criminal liability constantly trended, with countless discussions emerging. Countless eyes watched to see if this law would be implemented. My heart was also anxious and uncertain, but I had already made up my mind. If the law couldn't declare justice for me, I would take matters into my own hands. Fortunately, the country never disappointed its people. Finally, 3 months later, after countless discussions and revisions, the age of criminal liability was officially lowered to 8 years old. On the day of the trial, I arrived at the courtroom door early. It was cloudy that day, but a few faint rays of sunlight still pierced through the heavy clouds. Unlike last time, Chloe, whom I hadn't seen in a long time, had a face full of panic. She must have seen the legal adjustment. Her eyes were wide with fear, and she kept pleading, "Don't sentence me to death. I am still young." "No. You can't do this." I curled my lips into a smile. "Didn't you proclaim yourself a devil? Why are you so afraid of death?" But she acted as if she hadn't heard. Tears and snot streaming down her face. "Uncle Ethan, I was wrong. Please let me go. I'll bow my head repeatedly to you. Leo is already dead. I'll be your daughter from now on. I'll take care of you in your old age. Please let me go." Daniel covered his face and wept. He kept muttering, "Chloe, it's all my fault. I didn't raise you well." I ignored him completely. It wasn't until the judge read out Chloe's crimes, sentenced her to death, and brought down the gavel that I finally smiled. "Leo, do you see? Dad avenged you." Clara awkwardly walked over to me, and softly whispered her apologies. I took out the divorce papers I carried with me. Before I could say another word, Clara smoothly signed her name. She bowed to me. "I failed you and Leo. I will atone for it, for the rest of my life." I turned and left, not caring at all. On the day of the execution, I watched from the side and happened to run into Clara from afar. She nodded at me. Daniel didn't come. I heard he went insane after Chloe was sentenced. But what did that have to do with me? I carried a bouquet of flowers to Leo's cemetery. I placed the bouquet in front of Leo's bright smile. In the picture, he seemed to be waving at me, smiling so innocent and pure. I was tracing the photo with my fingers, lingering on every detail, as if I could touch that warm little life. "Leo, darling, the bad person who bullied you is gone." Clara's voice sounded behind me. "Ethan, don't be too sad." She also placed a pile of pastries, but when I glimpsed one item, I couldn't help but scoff. I picked up the almond cookies and threw them far away. "Clara, you truly are an unqualified mother. Didn't you know Leo was allergic to almonds?" Clara's face instantly went pale, her lips trembling. "I am sorry. I failed Leo. It's all my fault." I cut her off. "Enough. Clara, your apologies and explanations mean nothing to Leo anymore. When Leo needed you, you were saving someone else. You knew nothing about what Leo was allergic to. I don't want to say anything unpleasant to you in front of Leo either. You never treated Leo like your son. Don't disturb his peace by coming here again." Clara knelt on the ground, her white dress stained with mud, but she only clutched my pants leg, crying and pleading, "Ethan, you can't do this to me. It being too cruel. I am cruel. When Leo was burning in the fire, why didn't you think you were cruel? When Leo was calling for his mom to save him, you were comforting the person who killed him. You felt perfectly justified in almost missing your own child's funeral for an outsider. Ethan, please stop talking. I understand. I won't appear here again. I am leaving. I am leaving right now." Clara stumbled away from the cemetery, her figure lonely and desolate. I watched her from afar, but said nothing more. To atone for her sins, Clara became a volunteer teaching in a remote community. Every few months, she would send me a few photos of her students. Seeing them, I couldn't help but wonder if my Leo would be this happy if he was still alive. Later, Clara went silent for a year. It was then I learned that there was a big fire in the remote community, and she perished there forever, saving a student. Daniel went insane, Chloe died, and Clara died too. Even though I had achieved great revenge, I felt a heavy knot in my chest. I didn't feel relief, but rather a sense of melancholy. Was she thinking of Leo before she died? She had found peace. but I was still suffering in this world. Enduring the pain of missing Leo day after day, I devoted myself to volunteering at orphanages, helping children similar to Leo. Only then could I find some respite from the pain. I can't forget Leo, and I hope one day I can truly emerge from the shadow of losing him. But I don't know how long it will take, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, or even longer. Chorus Epilogue. When the fire came, I suddenly felt at peace. Leo must have seen my atonement, and had come to forgive me, as if to make up for the regrets of years past. I shielded the only child, who hadn't run out, comforting him softly again, and again. The fire burned on me, it hurt so much. Just thinking of how Leo suffered the same way, my heart was being torn apart. As Ethan said, I was an unqualified mother, I was terrible. Will Leo forgive his mom? Will he forgive this completely unqualified mother? But after I die, no one will be left to share memories of Leo with Ethan. He must be so lonely. If I hadn't lost my mind back then, we would still be a happy family. If only it had been me who died in that fire.